Do you have resentment that you are ready to release? Have you been holding on to some anger or a grudge against someone or maybe people? And it's time to release that burden that you are carrying. Not them, but you are carrying. I'm going to read the devotion from my Lenten devotional that I've been reading throughout Lent, and we're only a couple of days away from the Lenten season ending with the celebration of the resurrection of God's Son, Jesus. I read the Lenten devotional every year that is published by unity.org, where I get my daily devotional from. This devotional is from Tuesday, April 1st. I release resentment. Resentment is tempting. You are justified, right? You had a reasonable expectation of something, care, fair treatment, safety, yet it didn't happen. If you let go of resentment for unjust actions, aren't you condoning what happened to you? No. We don't condone what happened. We simply accept that resentment can't change the past. Underneath resentment is the idea that the past needs to be and can be changed. But what happened, happened. What we can do today is choose. Choose to write about the situation and ceremoniously toss it into the fireplace. Let the smoke literally rise to a higher level as you rise to your next level of peace, of contentment, of divine joy. Try this with a small resentment first, then on to more challenging ones. You get to choose. Affirm, I release my past and embrace my joy. Song of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 11 and 12. Now the winter is past, the rain is over and gone. The flowers appear on the earth. The time of singing has come. We can all agree that we have grappled with resentment towards a transgression against us. I know I have, and I know that I'm not alone. And I do believe there's a sense of release when you write it down. It's important to know that when you are holding on to resentment, it is a burden on you. You become a prisoner to that. It's not about the other person. They are not experiencing what you are. And there comes a time when you need to release that resentment. And having tools to help you on that journey can help. You know my tool, the note cards, that help in a lot of ways. I'm going to read a few of them with you today that have to do with resentment. And I encourage you to take advantage of downloading the printable of these note cards so that you can print them on cardstock and cut them out for yourself to use, or you can cut them and paste them to 4x6 index cards like the ones that I use. Forgiveness is giving up all hope for a better past. Forgiveness is giving up all hope for a better past. Do I want to free myself from suffering that started with an offense but has been continued by how I am living my life? Are you living your life in a way that shows that you're walking around with this pent-up, built-up resentment? Who are you really hurting by walking around with that. Feelings aren't facts, and thoughts don't need to be acted upon, no matter how intense they are. Again, how are you showing up? Are you walking around where everyone knows that you've been hurt, that you've been betrayed, that you have a right to feel the way that you do? Well, do they need to be acted upon? Who are you really hurting when you avoid to release resentment? Better or bitter? You either get better or you get bitter. It's simple. You either take what has been dealt to you, a better person, or you allow it to tear you down. The choice doesn't belong to fate. It belongs to you, and it also doesn't belong to anyone owing you an apology. Remember, how you feel is your feelings, not the perpetrator's. We have the power to choose our reaction to whatever we are experiencing. Are you reacting to this resentment? Reacting internally with yourself, with your negative inner chatter, your banter? Or maybe you're expressing it to other people because you have a right? It's justified. Or is it? Or is it? Who are you really hurting? It's important to remember that hurt people, and healed people heal people. If you hold on to this resentment, you're a hurt person, and you probably will be hurting others. But when you release the resentment that you carry, you will become healed, and you will heal others in the process. Remember, your feelings are your responsibility. Holding a grudge, dangling your pain and hurt over other people is not about them. It's about you, and you must take responsibility for your feelings, your attitude, your actions, your words. How do you want to be remembered? Someone who was bitter, or someone who had some adversities come their way, and maybe, perhaps they were justifiable, but you became better? You know that what you focus on expands. So you can focus on the negative all you want, but it will expand. And who is paying the price for that? You. Or you can focus on the positive of getting better, and that will expand too. And who will benefit from that? You. It is important to know that forgiveness doesn't condone, and forgiveness does not require reconnection. Many people believe if they release resentment, they're condoning, or they do need to reconnect. Not at all. Because forgiveness is for you, not the person who hurt you. Forgiveness is a gift to you. It does not require reconnection. If that is the best choice, if that is in your best interest. And always remember, when you release, you let go, and you let God. So what do you need to release today so that you can get on with your life? Because life, as you get older, you realize how short life really is. And holding on to resentment, it's a pain and a prison that you will live in if you don't release it. I'll share a couple of Bible verses with you, and then we'll talk about a writing exercise that you can do. Ephesians 4, verse 31 and 32. Get rid of all bitterness, rage, and anger. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ God forgave you. Could you imagine if God had resentment towards you? But He doesn't. He doesn't. Don't for 1 minute think you're too broken for God's love. Look at David and Peter. David and Peter came from extreme brokenness, yet God used them for a much greater purpose. Colossians 3 verse 13, bear with each other and forgive whatever grievances you may have against one another. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. Psalm 37 verse 8, stop being angry and give up your rage. Do not be fret, for it leads to evil. Hebrews 12 verse 15, see to it that no one misses the grace of God and that no bitter root grows up to cause trouble and defile many. In James 1 verse 19 and 20, everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry, because human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires. Those verses are all worth reflecting on if you are holding on to resentment. Let's talk about a writing exercise that may help, and like I shared from the devotional, start small. This is something that I've implemented this year, and boy, it's really been a powerful tool to help me overcome some past wounds that, are quite justifiable, some injuries that I experienced in my life. These were inflicted wounds on me. They were injuries. But I know holding on to those wounds will not serve me, and they will prevent me from living my purpose, the purposes that God gave me. There is great freedom in releasing resentment. So the first thing is to write about the experience. What exactly happened that you're holding on to this grudge, this burden, this resentment? Write it out on anything. Scratch pad, a piece of notebook paper, anything you can find. Write it out. And while you could type it, there's so much power in actually physically writing it. Do not place any emphasis on correct spelling, grammar, penmanship, handwriting. It's all insignificant. Just get it out of your head, and get it out of your head and put pen to paper as fast as you can. Be prepared to deal with the experience, what you're holding on to resentment. As you're writing, be prepared to deal with what you're writing. Write for about 15-20 minutes. If it takes longer, that's fine. But write for about 15 to 20 minutes. Don't stop writing, so make sure that you've created some white space where you can sit quietly and dump these thoughts on paper. Again, ignore grammar and errors. Include facts about the event, how you feel about said event, and how you feel now, and any associations with the event. It's perfectly normal to feel some negative emotions when you write about the experience that you're holding on to. It may be best to do this early in the day, maybe in the morning if it works for your schedule. I would avoid writing before bedtime because it could stir some negative emotions which could prevent you from going to sleep. When you're done writing, read through it, and then I want you to tear it up or throw it in the fire, right? Choose to write about the situation and ceremoniously toss it into the fire. Let the smoke literally rise to a higher level as you rise to your next level of peace, of contentment, of divine joy. I'd like you to do this, commit to it, and see what happens for you. And I'd also like you to take advantage of the printable download that there's a link to in the description box below, so that you can print out the note cards and the Bible verses and the writing assignment. That will be a bundle for you to take advantage of if you choose, and the link will be in the description box below. As we head into Easter, just a couple of days away, it's the perfect time for you to release this resentment that you've been holding on to, that you've been a prisoner to, and that probably plays a role in how you show up today, not only with yourself, again, that inner critic, that banter, that rhetoric, that negative chatter that is preventing you from living the life you desire, waiting for a better past that you will never get. The offense that has been controlling how you live your life. Are you ready to be free? It may be the perfect time. Maybe whoever you're holding that grudge against, you'll see in a couple of days, and you will be so better prepared. Understand that this writing assignment is nothing that I came up with. It's an expressive writing assignment. It's a tool to help you process past transgressions, past traumas, past injuries, wounds that have left an injury to your heart, to your soul, right? You can do this for anything. You can do it for the littlest of things on a whim. If someone upsets or hurts you, and you have the opportunity to quickly jot it down on anything you can find to let it out and release it, tear it up when you're done and get rid of it, you may be amazed at what happens when you just release it in that way, and then you'll come back a much better and composed person. If you do need to have a conversation with someone, you'll be way less reactive. So give it a try. Let me know in the comment section below if you have some resentment you're ready to release. Also, I encourage you to take advantage of 3-week intense for Q2. We start just a few days from today on Monday, April 21st, the day after Easter. Upon registering, you will get the exclusive webpage with all of the videos that cover each commitment and all of your printable downloads. You'll basically get a really nice packet with everything from your habit tracker to your thought work exercise, your journal prompts, everything to make the 21 days a success. Registration closes 2 days from today on Easter at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So don't put it off and miss getting registered. Take advantage of it right now while you're watching this video. The link will be in the description box below. And again, we start in 3 days on Monday. And I look forward to having you a part of this wonderful, amazing community where, yeah, we'll probably even talk about resentment. That is the beauty of 3-week intense. It is not all about diet and exercise. We spend a lot of time in our thoughts, in our thinking, in how they affect how we show up in this world, not only with others, but more importantly with ourselves, and how it hijacks us from executing and delivering or even setting goals out of fear of failure, fear of not being good enough, of not being worthy, lovable, likable, competent. We challenge all the things in 3-week intense. So join the community and get on top of this releasing resentment exercise. Have a great weekend and have a happy Easter. Take care.